Everything you know about building powerful legs is wrong. Not slightly wrong. Fundamentally, structurally, dangerously wrong. The gym gave you a lie. Squat heavy. Go deep. Add weight. Repeat. And most people followed that advice and ended up with legs that look strong in a mirror but shatter under real pressure. Slow, stiff, delayed. Because here's what nobody told you. Power doesn't come from muscle size. It comes from sequencing. And for over 1,000 years, deep inside the walls of the Shaolin Temple, monks solved this completely. They didn't train to look strong. They trained to become something most modern athletes never will. A weapon that responds before the mind gives permission. 6 secrets, 6 phases. Each one unlocks something your legs cannot currently do. Miss even one, and everything else leaks. Stay until the end, because the 6th secret is the one that changes everything. Here's what's actually happening in your body right now. Every time you train legs the conventional way, loading a barbell, pushing through a controlled range of motion, chasing hypertrophy, you are strengthening a system that is still disconnected at its foundation. The joints are stiff, the tendons are undertrained, the nervous system is slow, and you can't feel it. Not in the gym. The weights go up, the mirror looks better, you assume the work is done, then real movement happens, a sudden direction change, a reactive jump, a moment where power needs to appear instantly, not after a setup, not after a breath, now. And the body hesitates. That hesitation is not a mental problem. It's a structural one. What Shaolin masters understood, centuries before sports science caught up, is that the body is not a collection of isolated muscles. It is a chain of force, and that chain has 6 links. Stiffen any one of them, and power cannot travel. Train all 6 in sequence, and something shifts. The legs stop feeling like weight. They start feeling like loaded springs. Most people never experience that. Not because they're weak, because they've been training in the wrong order. Here's the real problem with modern leg training. It was designed around aesthetics, around load, around what can be measured on a barbell. But real power is not a number, it's a quality. The Shaolin system was built around one idea, force flow. The ability to absorb energy, store it in the tendons, and release it at the exact moment it's needed, with zero hesitation, zero leakage. Modern training breaks this into fragments. Strength day, mobility day, plyometrics day, balance work, each piece trained separately, never integrated. But here's what that does. It teaches the body to perform in isolation. And in isolation, everything looks fine. The box jump is clean, the squat is deep, the balance hold is stable, until pressure is applied. Until the environment becomes unpredictable. Until the moment is real. Then the fragments fall apart because they were never trained together. The Shaolin solution isn't complicated. It's a sequence, 6 phases that build on each other, layer by layer, until the lower body becomes a unified system. Not just strong, alive. Most people skip this. That's why they never access full power. Before force can travel through the legs, the joints must be open. Restricted ankles, locked hips, compressed knees. These don't just limit mobility, they trap force. Power builds and has nowhere to go. The fix is not stretching. Stretching is passive. This is active opening. Drop into a deep squat. Don't hold it. Move inside it. Shift weight side to side. Let the hips rotate. Let the ankles release. The goal is not depth. The goal is freedom of movement within the joint. Do this daily, 2 to 3 minutes before anything else. When the gate opens, everything downstream flows. But opening the joints is only the beginning. What comes next is where most people get humbled. The horse stance. The most misunderstood exercise in all of martial arts. Most people see it as a static hold, a punishment, a test of willpower. It's none of those things. It's architecture. Feet wide, hips below parallel, weight distributed evenly. Hold, not for seconds, but for minutes. Let the legs begin to shake. Let the mind begin to negotiate. Don't move. Here, something specific happens. The tendons around the knee and hip begin to adapt. The deep stabilizers of the spine engage. Joints that have never been loaded in this position start to harden, not with muscle mass, but with tensile strength, the kind of strength that doesn't collapse under sudden force. This is the base of the entire system. Without it, the next 4 phases have no foundation. Most people train their legs without ever building the throne. That's why their power crumbles the moment real pressure arrives. Now the body has structure. Now it must learn to move with precision. Slow squats, not light, controlled. The descent takes 4 seconds. The pause at the bottom is held for 2. The rise is deliberate, intentional. Every rep is a conversation between the nervous system and the muscle. Then add single leg work, pistol progressions, balance holds on unstable positions. Let the shaking happen. That's not weakness. That's the nervous system learning to organize chaos. Because here's the truth most trainers won't tell you. If you can't control force at slow speed, you cannot control it at high speed. Explosive power built on an uncontrolled foundation is just aggression. Impressive in the gym, useless when it counts. Control must come before speed, always. This is where the system changes quality. Stay low, introduce small controlled pulses, bounce without losing position. Let the tendons begin to understand their role, not just to transmit force, but to store it. Add crow walks. Move forward in a deep crouch. Controlled, continuous. What you're building here is the elastic quality of the lower body, the ability to compress, load, and release like a coiled spring without deliberate muscular effort. This is what elite athletes call reactive strength, and most people never train it directly. They train how hard they can push. They never train how quickly they can absorb and redirect. When the spring is loaded, power stops being earned. It starts being launched. Now the system fires. Jump squats, drop fast, rise instantly. No pause, no hesitation. The transition from descent to explosion must become automatic. Then broad jumps, forward projection, maximum horizontal distance. Then frog jumps, aggressive, grounded, primal. Finish with reactive hops. Light, fast, minimal ground contact. The goal is not height. The goal is speed of response. How quickly can the foot leave the ground? How fast can the body change direction? This is where everything built in the first 4 phases expresses itself. The open joints allow full range. The structural base prevents collapse. The controlled strength ensures precision. The loaded spring releases energy without effort. And here, for the first time, the legs stop feeling like weight. They feel like something else entirely. This is the secret most people never reach, and it's the one that changes everything. No separation, no phases, no reset. You move through the entire sequence, slow squat into pulse, into explosion, into balance, without stopping. Under fatigue, under pressure, the body must adapt in real time, without a plan, without preparation. This is where training becomes real. Because real movement doesn't pause to recover. Real situations don't give you a moment to reset. The body must respond automatically, not because you decided to, but because the system has been trained to. In the Shaolin tradition, this was called no mind movement. The legs respond before the thought arrives. Most athletes spend their entire careers chasing this feeling without knowing how to build it. Now you know. If you're still here, pay attention to this. Most people watched the first 4 secrets and already started planning to skip the last 2. That's exactly why most people never build legs that truly perform. The system doesn't work in pieces, it only works as a whole. The monks understood this. You can't borrow discipline. You either build the full structure or you don't build it at all. Keep going. You are not here to build legs that look good in shorts. You are here to build a lower body that responds under pressure, in a fight, in a game, in a moment where hesitation costs everything. That's a different standard, a higher one. Most people will never reach it. Not because it's impossible, but because they'll stop at the first phase that feels uncomfortable. They'll skip the horse stance when it burns. They'll rush past the slow squats to get to the jumps. They'll skip integration entirely. You won't, because you understand what most people don't. The discomfort is the training. Here's the full sequence. Phase 1, open the joints, free the path of force. Phase 2, build structural endurance through the horse stance. Phase 3, master controlled movement at slow speed. Phase 4, train the elastic, spring-like quality of the tendons. Phase 5, express explosion through reactive, aggressive power work. Phase 6, integrate all phases under fatigue without separation. Train this 3 to 4 times per week. Not every session needs to be intense. Day 1, structure and control. Day 2, elasticity and spring. Day 3, rest. Day 4, explosion and reaction. Day 5, full integration. Day 6, rest. Do this consistently for 6 months. Your legs will stop feeling like weight. They'll start feeling like a system, loaded, precise, and ready before the decision is made. Most people will finish this video, nod, and train exactly the same way they did yesterday. That's a choice. You now understand something most athletes spend decades searching for and never find. Power is not produced, it's organized. The Shaolin monks didn't have better genetics. They didn't have better equipment. They had a better sequence and the discipline to follow it completely. Start where you are. Build the gate. Build the throne. Move with control before you move with speed. Load the spring before you ignite the explosion. And never, not once, skip integration. The transformation isn't in any single secret. It's in all 6. Together, repeated over time. Most people will ignore this. That's why most people never truly change.